Now Marjorie, she rung in first. She rung in first. That's Marjorie, guys. And this is when he should have. They gotta get close and they want to touchy feely on you because that's how they soften you up. That's how they get you. That's how they get you. Notice how she coming over there creeping. She want to give him a hug and soften him up after she said that shit right there live.
Yeah. One thing about me, I've always loved black people. I've always loved my people. Y'all belong to me and I belong to y'all. Before I get started, just let me say, I'm fine. Marjorie's fine.
Family Feud host
Salute, guys, and welcome to class. You had to know I was going to touch on this, guys. So come on in, hit that like button. Keep in mind that we don't cater to any groups, gangs, communities, religions, feelings, or emotions. We cater to the truth, we cater to common sense, and we do not complicate it. Guys, this is a crazy one. So let's get straight on into the content.
Wife loved it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh my God, my husband loves you. Oh my God, my wife loves you. Like, let's come in.
Steve Harvey's wife, Marjorie, has reportedly cheated on him with his bodyguard and his personal chef. And sources close to Lori Harvey's ex, Michael B. Jordan, are saying that MBJ always knew Steve was full of it when he was dishing relationship advice to women. Reports recently emerged on social media that Marjorie Harvey was caught cheating with 2 members of her household staff. And several sources also reported that Marjorie is now planning to take half of everything that Steve owns.
But right now, rumors are swirling.
You dirty bitch! Look what you've done to my peonies!
They're marigolds!
Good God, I think she's right. They are marigolds.
I may not know my flowers, but I know a bitch when I see one! You dirty...
Now keep in mind, guys, I tell you, you never know who you with, who you busting it wide open for until y'all break up, guys. The dirtiest player in the game right here. The dirtiest player in the game right here. And they put on a front. They put on a good front, guys. This is that relationship cap that we talk about. Remember where we talk about the beta male, he trying to bring attention to himself, and the modern woman, she trying to bring attention to herself. So they sitting in them relationships where they sitting up there manipulating each other, blackmailing each other. And this is why I tell you guys, be careful of the information you take in and who you suck it in by. Y'all put y'all all in these celebrities because they have money and they dress nice, and especially Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey is that prototypical simp that all you little old heads love. Y'all love Steve Harvey. Y'all fill his collection plate up. He got that right touch of a pastor. He looked like a pastor, but then he got that funny swag with him. You know what I mean? Y'all like the clowns. Y'all love the clowns, the weak little black men that can make y'all laugh. Y'all don't respect real leaders. You know what I mean? Oh, 'cause he don't curse and he wear a button-up shirt and he wear his suits, and so everything he say is official, is 100. Yeah, all right. Y'all gonna keep fooling around with these people. Y'all follow the wrong people.
on Twitter that Marjorie cheated on Steve with his bodyguard. And not only does she want a divorce, but she also wants $200 million.
Now, we all know that Steve Harvey has built his career on giving relationship and marriage advice, so you can already imagine the comments from fans about the rumored cheating scandal shaking up the Harvey household. And while some fans are shocked that Steve and Marjorie are reportedly heading for a very expensive divorce, sources close to Michael B. Jordan are saying MBJ always knew this would happen sooner or later. But what do we really know about Marjorie Harvey's rumored affair with Steve's employees? And did MBJ really project Marjorie would end up playing Steve? Let's break it down.
I was willing to take the L, you know what I'm saying? And deal with the, you look familiar, and are you the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just to kind of like.
Definitely was going to get that with a number 8.
What?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Over the past couple of weeks, bombshell reports have been circulating online that Steve Harvey got cheated on by his wife of 16 years, Marjorie Harvey. Several outlets reported that Marjorie cheated on Steve with his bodyguard, Big Boom, while others claimed that she also had an affair with Steve's personal chef. And while Marjorie is yet to address the cheating rumors, fans are saying where there's smoke, there's fire. And knowing Marjorie Harvey's history, that's a lot of smoke. Meanwhile, reports also surfaced that Lori Harvey's ex, Michael B. Jordan, always...
That's a fact. She doing the same thing. The same way you got it, Steve, is the same way you're losing, Steve. Now, you know how you got this woman. You know this woman was out there busting dope moves with real serious people. You know what I mean? He go to jail, and then you go swoop in. You go jump in his grave, guys. This is another situation like the Boyce Watkins guy. I mean, if you notice something with these old head, fake wannabe church looking dudes, if you notice something about them, they from the happy life is cheaper to keep it ever. They from the happy life is cheaper to keep it ever, guys. Straight corny.
believed Steve and Marjorie's marriage wasn't so perfect as Steve tried to convince everyone, and he apparently thought that all the dating advice Steve and Marjorie gave Lori was a bunch of BS. Insiders familiar with the Harvey family dynamics have suggested that Marjorie taught Lori how to be cold and calculated when dating, and given Marjorie's past, this new development shouldn't be surprising. These days, Marjorie Harvey is known for showing off her lavish lifestyle on social media and mingling with high-profile individuals. However, Marjorie's life prior to meeting Steve Harvey was a far cry from the luxurious life she currently enjoys.
Exactly. You elevated her joint. You elevated her, and then you get on a big stage and you always putting her on a pedestal. And now you got all of these women out here thinking they belong on a pedestal because Steve Harvey put his woman on a pedestal when Steve Harvey and his woman is in a whole relationship cap shit fake as a motherfucker. Nobody shit perfect. And you got to watch those relationships where they trying to paint everything out to be perfect and they always dangling their relationship in front of y'all. And bro, where there's smoke, there's fire, bro. Don't believe none of that shit, bro. Hit that like button, guys. Let's go.
Marjorie and Steve first crossed paths back in 1990 at a comedy club in Memphis, and Steve claimed it was love at first sight.
So he's just quiet. He just keeps staring at me. So I'm waiting on him to make me a part of the show so we can get on with the show. So he stayed quiet so long staring at me. Now everybody in the club is looking at me. And so he finally realized, okay, I got to say something. He was like, oh, I'm sorry. I don't know who this is, but I'm going to marry her.
Steve and Marjorie's connection was instant, and they started dating shortly after. However, the romance didn't last long, and they went their separate ways, with Steve later suggesting that Marjorie left him because his financial situation wasn't that great at the time. But then their paths crossed again in 2005, this time with Steve riding high on the...
And that's crazy right there. That's when you shouldn't... Bro, you see what I mean? And that's the problem with black men, because we get money and we look to take care of women, right? Women get money and they be looking to be independent. They be looking to be independent. Then another problem that we have as men is we get money and then chill with the women that would not have chilled with us if we didn't have money. That's stupid right there. Big red flag.
The success of the Steve Harvey show, and Marjorie decided to give their relationship another chance. There was just one issue, though. Steve's history included a previous marriage to Mary Shackelford, and Mary later alleged that Steve cheated on her with Marjorie while they were still married.
When I think about how quickly he moved forward from me to Marjorie, that was disturbing.
Even more troubling, Steve took his son, Wynton, from his marriage with Mary, and according to Mary, he manipulated the legal process, leaving her with nothing.
He took my Wynton from me. He turned my son against me, had me evicted from our house, thrown out. All the businesses, all the money, the cars, at a moment when I was down and devastated. He manipulated.
So we talking about two devils here, guys. We talking about when Lucifer and Lilith link up. So they cause destruction. And y'all stick around because Steve's oldest daughter spoke on something. She been seeing the red flags. Whenever you have a hell of a mother, a stepmom who is hell bent on separating the father from his own kids, that's red flags. That's a relationship cap. How can this man sit up here and teach us relationship advice or anything? How is he a player when he was manipulated against his own kids? Guys, come on, we gonna talk today.
The courts, everything against me.
However, many fans have speculated that it was actually Marjorie, not Steve, who orchestrated this manipulation, convincing Steve to cut all ties with his ex-wife. Allegedly, Marjorie also instructed Steve to portray Mary as unstable in the media, and Steve started gaslighting Mary and accusing her of being vindictive and harmful to their son.
The part that's hurtful in here is my wife and children have to be drugged into this. If you're going to be vindictive, then go ahead and just aim it at me. But my son is coming in the room crying. And that's also cursing. So why you would do this?
But despite Steve and Marjorie's efforts to twist the narrative, public sentiment sided with Mary, while Marjorie became one of the least liked Hollywood wives. Recently, Mary once again criticized Marjorie for her manipulation, claiming that Marjorie actively worked to damage her relationship with Wynton.
I know that as a mother, if I was ever in a position to where I had to be in charge of somebody else's child, I definitely make sure they have a great relationship with that child. But I just don't see how Marjorie, in particular, can call herself a mother to her own children and deliberately try to sabotage my relationship with my son.
And what makes Marjorie look even worse in this situation is the fact that her questionable actions predate her rebranding as Mrs. Harvey. Prior to meeting Steve, Marjorie had been married twice. Her first marriage was to drug lord Jim Townsend, with whom she shares 2 children, Morgan and Jason, who were later adopted by Steve. Back in the 90s, both Jim and Marjorie were investigated by the FBI and DEA, and Marjorie apparently earned herself the nickname Lady Heroin. According to one report, the investigators told Jim that unless he cooperated with them, Marjorie would be arrested because they had, quote, substantial evidence of her own illegal activities. Jim agreed to cooperate with authorities and was sentenced to life in prison. He served 26 years of his sentence before being pardoned by President Obama in 2017. As for Marjorie, she managed to escape charges and filed for divorce from Jim while he was in prison. But Marjorie wasted no time, and as soon as she divorced Jim, she got hitched to Darnell Woods, Jim's cousin.
Crazy, guys. Crazy. So you mean to tell me Steve Harvey bypassed all these red flags right here? That's what happened when you a simp and you thirsty for a chick. She getting a whole can beat up, and now she come to you as a whole dented can with all types of dents in her, and then you push her up on a pedestal in front of the whole world, and you try to get the little men to think this is relationship goals. Y'all not no relationship goal, bro. Keep exposing them.
And also a drug dealer. Marjorie and Darnell married sometime in the early 2000s and had 1 child together, Lori, who was later adopted by Steve. But as you can see, the timeline of Marjorie's relationships is confusing because she and Steve claim to have met in the late 90s, dated briefly, and then reconnected in 2005. So it sounds like they both cheated on their partners with each other. Anyways,
exactly. They just some cheating niggas, bro. These is Lucifer. These are some trauma bonding, unhealed people. They think they know everything. You talk to Steve, he think he know everything. Haven't took in any new information since the computer era began, since the internet began. These old niggas with these old remedies and these old solutions that ain't never been working. And they ain't gonna work. You got to watch these people, bro. Remember, old people cannot teach you nothing new except for how to be a nice person, manners. They could teach manners, and that's if they have manners. And clearly these two couldn't teach you shit but how to cheat. These two can't teach you shit but how to cheat. And the black women, y'all like niggas like this. These the niggas y'all like. These the niggas y'all like because they play let's pretend with y'all. What in the let's pretend is this, yo?
after Marjorie reconnected with Steve and realized he was about to make it big in Hollywood, she quickly ended her marriage with Darnell. Darnell was later arrested for drug-related crimes and is reportedly still incarcerated. Steve and Marjorie married in 2007, with Steve adopting Marjorie's 3 children. After he tied the knot with Marjorie, Steve started dishing out relationship advice, and in 2009, he published his New York Times bestseller, Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man. The book
You a fool if you listen to that. You a whole fool if you listen to that. I always said, you act like a man, but think like these bitches.
book is aimed at single women, and the premise is based on Steve's belief that men are very simple creatures and that they're primarily driven by how much money they make. The whole book revolves around the old protect and provide narrative, and it tells women they need to play dumb to stroke the male ego. In the book, Steve also criticizes women who move in with their boyfriends before marriage and claims that the only way to turn your committed relationship into a marriage is to insist on setting a date for the wedding. Basically, Steve presents marriage as a foolproof way of keeping your man, but it looks like he forgot to write a chapter on how to keep your woman, because according to the latest reports, while Steve
It's about people beliefs and they core beliefs. And if you go listening to people and they core beliefs and what they believe in, you're going to get the results they get. Do you want the results this man get? Ask yourself. You know what we do over here, guys. You know what we do. I tell you this almost every live stream. Be careful of the information you take in to your Holy Spirit, which is your subconscious mind, guys. Do you want the results of this fool? And ladies, do you want the results of Marjorie? See, that's where it's complicated at, because you're asking female. Any guy will tell you, we don't want the results of Steve Harvey. But now when you ask the so-called real good sister, do you want the results of Lori Harvey? See how many tell you, she about to win. She winning. And is that really winning? She's about to steal. She's about to commit sin. She have committed sin. And then you ask them, do you want those results? And see how many would take the money and not care about the sin and the karma that's going to come with that. It's sad shit, yo. Stop me when I'm lying.
Steve was giving advice to other women on how to go from girlfriend to wife, his own wife was getting busy with the staff. And since Steve was apparently caught throwing shade at Michael B. Jordan after Lori dumped him, fans are loving this turn of events, and they're saying MBJ must be laughing somewhere right now. Sources close to MBJ are also saying he always held reservations about Marjorie and suspected she'd end up playing Steve sooner or later. Marjorie also allegedly interfered in MBJ and Lori's relationship. And according to long-standing rumors, the reason why Steve and Marjorie were reluctant to accept MBJ as Lori's partner, despite claiming otherwise in the public, is because MBJ wanted Lori to sign a prenup. However, Marjorie didn't like this idea. Many fans
Exactly. Because MBJ, that brother, he had some red pill sense with him. He had a little bit of red. He wasn't going in there on some simp sucker shit. He wasn't going in there on some simp sucker shit, guys. When you get in these relationships, you got to put the woman under your umbrella. You don't go under this umbrella of their family. You don't go under the family umbrella. No, you got to create your own branch from that tree now. So you bring the female under your umbrella and you put that force field around y'all and don't let nothing in and nothing out. Because that's where all of the bad beliefs and that's where all of the manipulation and that's where the outside world will be running your relationship, guys.
fans now feel that MBJ dodged a bullet by not becoming part of the Harvey family, and they're clowning Steve for building his career off of giving relationship advice, only to end up getting cheated on by the woman he publicly put on a pedestal. One fan said, "Imagine whatever Steve Harvey is going through right now. That is what her daughter Lori served to Michael B. Jordan, just a different recipe." And another fan wrote, "Didn't Steve Harvey cheat on his first wife with this woman, married her after she abandoned him when he was broke, ignored his children to focus on hers, and condescend to give us relationship advice from this tower of hypocrisy? LOL. He deserves whatever she shows him." But let's hear your thoughts on all this. Do you feel bad for Steve for allegedly getting cheated on by Marjorie? And do you think MBJ had a lucky escape from the Harvey family?
Abso-freaking-lutely. He got out of there perfect time, perfect situation, yo. Y'all hang in there. Let me pull up Steve's daughter, you know what I mean? Steve's daughter, Brandi, is her name.
The uniqueness of my story is that I was fired from my father. Because I was fired, I was able to start Beyond Her, an active wellness brand for women of color, and then be able to write this book.
Where did I meet you?
Oh,
First time we met.
Memphis,
Where?
at a comedy club.
She came down front with her girlfriend. When I saw her, I quit breathing.
Y'all, we got some serious family drama on the menu today. Picture this, the Harvey family, known for their charm, wit, and humor, are facing an unexpected storm brewing in their midst. Now, it's no secret that Steve Harvey, the legendary comedian and TV personality, has brought joy to countless households across the globe. But behind the glitz and glamour, there's a tale of heartache and resentment that has finally reached its boiling point. But before we get into it, make sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to never miss out on any new videos. It's free and helps us tremendously bring out new content for your enjoyment. Enter Brandi Harvey, the fearless, no-nonsense daughter who has had enough of her father's mysterious absence. With a fire in her eyes and determination in her heart, she's not backing down from confronting the man who once brought laughter into their lives, but now seems to have vanished into thin air, leaving their family in disarray. So what's the deal? Well, it all centers around Marjorie, the woman who seemingly came out of nowhere and swept Steve off of his feet. The once tight-knit family feels like it's been torn apart, and Brandi isn't about to...
No, she didn't come out of nowhere. She came out of a prison bed, almost doing a prison bed. That's where she came. She ducked jail. That's where she came.
Let this go unnoticed any longer. She's ready to peel back the layers, unveil the truth, and demand answers she and her family deserve. In this real-life soap opera, emotions are running high, secrets are about to be spilled, and tough questions will be asked. Brandi is on a mission to confront her father for his alleged abandonment, and she's not holding anything back. Hey, let me give you the juicy deets about Steve and Marjorie Harvey's love roller coaster. Sure, they might seem like the ultimate power couple, but hey, every relationship's got its secrets, right? Before Marjorie came into the picture, Steve was hitched to a gal named Marcia back in 1981. At that time, he was hustling as an insurance salesman in Ohio while chasing his comedy dreams on the side. Talk about a busy bee. Now, life with Steve wasn't all sunshine and rainbows for Marcia. His passion for comedy often had him zipping around, leaving her and the kids hanging at home. Tough gig, gotta say. Fast forward 14 years and 2 kids later, things started to get rocky. Rumors began swirling that Steve's infidelity might have played a part in the cracks forming in their union. Yikes. Sooner or later, their relationship bit the dust, and Marcia found herself pregnant with their 3rd child amidst the mess. And that's when they called it quits. Say it ain't so. After his first marriage with Marcia hit the rocks, she apparently decided to dip her toes into the publishing scene, becoming an author with books like Marcia, Thoughts from My Mind, and Marcia, Poems from the Heart. Looks like she had some tales to share from her time with Steve. Talk about spilling the tea. But wait, there's more drama. There's Steve's second wife, Mary Lee Shackelford, a professional makeup artist. Word on the street is that they got cozy even before Steve finalized his divorce from Marcia. Oh snap! Love triangles, anyone? Their paths crossed in Texas while Steve was rocking the stage as a stand-up comedian in 1989. Sparks flew, and they ended up having a child together. Oh, little bundle of joy amidst the love whirlwind. Their marriage lasted a solid 9 years before calling it quits in 2005. But buckle up, because the road to the end of their union was anything but smooth sailing. According to the grapevine, there were emails, text messages, and all sorts of juicy stuff coming to light, making the whole situation extra messy. Marcia felt like she deserved some closure or compensation, but Steve decided to hit the road, leaving her high and dry. Ouch. He dashed off to New York to their apartment, leaving Marcia without a peek at the place they once called home. And guess what? Mary joined him there too, adding more spice to the mix. In 2011, Steve Harvey's second wife, Mary, spilled the beans and recorded not just 1, but 3 videos sharing her side of the story about their nearly decade-long marriage. Talk about a tell-all tale. Now, let me give you highlights of those vids. One jaw-dropping incident she recounted was getting a mysterious call at their love nest, the marital home. And who did she think was on the other end? None other than Marjorie herself. The caller was supposedly asking about a job application for Steve's soup company. What? That happened?
Wow. Wow.
Mary thinking it was like a stamp of approval from the top dogs. But wait, there's more tea to spill. While Mary was getting all dolled up at the beauty shop, she stumbled upon a confidential letter meant for Steve from another woman named Terry. And guess what was in that letter? Oh, just explicit details about Steve and Terry's little affair. Cue the dramatic gasp. All of this drama hit Mary like a ton of bricks, making her come face to face with the harsh reality of their 16-year relationship. Can you imagine the roller coaster of emotions she must have gone through? It's like something straight out of a soap opera. But wait, there's more. Enter Marjorie, the new leading lady in Steve's life. Some folks wondered if she was solely driven by Steve's fame and success. But who could blame her? The man's got charisma for days. Back in the day, they were celebrating their second wedding anniversary. Mary was all dolled up in Los Angeles, ready to join Steve in Chicago. But fate had other plans, and a package marked confidential arrived, shattering her world. To add fuel to the fire, Mary discovered she wasn't the only one in Steve's life. Heartbreak City. Despite all the outside pressures, she tried to hold the family together for the kids. You gotta admire her strength. But alas, love can be a fickle thing, and eventually the divorce happened. Before it was even final, things got real messy. Steve evicted Mary from her home and took custody of their son, Wynton. Double ouch. Mary poured her heart out, feeling like Steve moved on to Marjorie way too quickly. She longed for some closure, but instead faced a devastating legal battle. Steve seemed to have the upper hand, claiming in court that he built everything on his own. A real gut punch. However, as time passed, the truth came out. Some of Mary's initial claims didn't hold up in court, but eventually she was awarded 3 homes, a cool sum of $1.5 million, and got monthly payments of $40,000 for several months. Brandi Harvey, the daughter of Steve Harvey, carries a heavy heart filled with anger and disappointment towards her father for what she perceives as abandonment. The pain stems from the time when Steve left his first wife and family, including Brandi, to be with Marjorie. As a child, Brandi might have had dreams of a strong and loving father figure by her side, but those dreams were shattered when Steve chose to walk away from their family home. It's natural for her to feel hurt and let down as she grapples with the
Now, I tell y'all this all of the time. You might have to walk away at some point, but you better make sure you get your eyes back, bro. You better make sure you get your eyes back and don't lose that connection, bro. Don't ever lose that connection. That's still your child, bro. This nigga right here, bro. And this is who the black woman, they worship this nigga. The black sisters, a lot of them, a ton of them, worship niggas like this. They worship niggas that don't take care of their kids, but then they go talking about fatherless homes and shit. But they praise niggas like this.
fact that her dad's decision to be with Marjorie came at the expense of his previous family's stability and emotional well-being. Growing up without the presence of her father during crucial moments of her life might have left a lasting impact on Brandi. She might have felt neglected, as if she didn't matter as much as the new life Steve was building with Marjorie. Such feelings of abandonment can be incredibly painful and difficult to overcome. Fans were absolutely pissed with him. One person said, "Please, Steve Harvey abandoned his wife. She was with him when he had nothing, left her broke, took their son, married a queenpin, and giving advice. Steve Harvey gets no respect from me. For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his soul?" Another added, "All Steve Harvey wives have been mistresses to the previous wife. He also abandoned his first wife and all them kids. But women ordained him the oracle of all things relationship-wise in the black community. LOL, pandering makes wealthy boy." One more person said, "Not the Steve Harvey they taken relationship advice from. He can't be the man that abandoned his family. I told y'all he ain't got the answers." Some people just weren't disappointed with his behavior and said, "Damn, people still complaining about Steve Harvey? It's a good time as ever for me to remind people that he is a raging narcissist liar who abandoned his wife and kids." Brandi might find it challenging to understand why her father seemingly prioritized his new relationship over the bond he shared with his first family. Questions like, did he not love us enough? Or what did we do wrong? Might haunt her thoughts, adding to her anger and disappointment. So what do you think? Comment down below and let us know. If
All right, guys. Enough with the Steve Harvey joint. Y'all get to the comment section. Let me know how y'all feeling, guys. Like, share, subscribe. 2 videos is gonna pop up so you can continue your viewing experience over here at the School of Common Sense. Clicking either or, it don't even matter. It's exclusive. All right, y'all. See y'all later. Wrap up, strap up. Do not play with your life.
You are not niggers. You are not coons. You may smoke, reef, and drink wine and do crazy, wicked things. But you are not a wicked person by nature. You have lent yourself to wickedness, but you are a divine creature that must now come into the knowledge and power of your own divinity. And no preacher can resurrect you into your divinity. It takes God himself to bring you into your own divine nature. So we're not dealing with prophets. We have walked out of prophet teaching. This is the time and the presence of God. So I don't talk about God will come. God is already here. And he's working in me to resurrect you to your divine nature.
Hand off of me. Trade me in for no damn pool boy. Pool boy.